That's good. Good on that end. Again, sorry about that. I had something small come up. Had to go deal with it. Sounds like, all right, we got a notification even, so that's cool. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Wonder if anyone's even going to show up tonight. What's up, Jags? At least one person did. Meeting. What? What's up, Jags? What's up, Nicholas? What's up, Lions? I feel like you just threw together like 5 words, and I don't know why it's like not processing in my brain right. How'd I jinx myself? Oh shit. Yeah, I know who that is, but I don't understand. He's meeting Chauvin impression. I don't know what. Did you not mean to have the word impression on there? Glad to hear you're good. I'm glad to hear you're good. Yeah, so should be a pretty fun stream tonight. We'll basically just talk about the awards that are coming up. Oh, I know, Fernando. That was pretty good. It was pretty good. Oh, he impersonated meeting. I guess that's cool. I don't. It's kind of weird. Don't know why you'd just be like pro cop. What do you think of the Panthers hiring Frank Reich? It's a good hire. I would say. Fun little fact about Frank Reich. Did you know he was the first Panthers quarterback in team history? Took the first snaps and played in the first 3 games. Then was subsequently benched for somebody a little bit better, but you know, still historical. I would say it's significant, and now he's the head coach. For sure, Jags. Again, sorry. That's I'm not that into all that. Sorry about that, Jax. You know how like I'm barely connected with anything like that. What's up, Wade? No, not much. We're just getting started. Since the Panthers were a 95 team, like the Jaguars. Yep. Jags being one of the expansion teams, Frank Reich was the team's first quarterback, which is kind of cool to see him become the new head coach. I believe he lives in Carolina in the offseason. So it's kind of cool. It's like he got a really cool local job. If you haven't left a like, consider doing so. I think we're off to a blazing start with a whole 2. So that would mean that no one's left a like. But hey, I understand it. You're good? I'm glad to hear, Wade. Yep, Frank Reich back in Carolina. Panthers? No, they're a super young team. In Charlotte, yep. North Carolina. You did like it? I appreciate it, Wade. Must just not be showing up. What's up, Jacob? But yeah, if you guys can, make sure you leave likes. It helps the stream out. Oh, you're asking for an impression. I got you. I get what you mean. Now I'm like, what do you mean impression, dude? I don't like you're actually like an impression of the 2 meeting. Am I excited for the Super Bowl? I don't know. It depends on who's in it. Brady leaves Tampa Bay, which he's pretty much leaving. Will the Panthers can win that division? I think the Saints rebound really hard next year, but we'll see about all that. Yeah, you can kind of like the Lions are super old. They've been around for forever. Stuff like that. Giants are old. Cowboys are old. The Eagles are fucking ancient. The Browns are technically really old, but not like the way that they are. That's technically the Ravens, but like however you want to consider that thing, like it's a thing. Derek Carr, yeah, Carr to the Saints would make a lot of sense. especially with a guy like because he's kind of similar to Breeze, skill wise. Well, Ravens, yeah, they're old because they're the old Cleveland Browns, right? Like that's technically their entire history is the Browns history that the Browns get, but it's like that's the most complicated situation because not only did like the Cleveland Browns used to exist and then they became the Baltimore Ravens, then they came back as the Cleveland Browns. So it's like what team gets the history? No, they're a pretty young football team overall, the Ravens. That's part of the problem why they lose a lot is because they're pretty young right now. Are you hearing the Aaron Rodgers? Yeah, I actually kind of buy of all the rumors that I think are tangible, and you probably don't expect me to be in on this one. I disagree. I think if you were to like pinpoint a perfect team for that guy to go to, it's like quite literally the Jets. Well, like they have 3 good wide receivers, a good running back when Brees Hall's back, a halfway decent O-line when the whole thing's healthy and they can pick more linemen up, sign another receiver. I mean, their defense is elite, special teams is great. Honestly, like, why? If you're a really good quarterback, please tell me what is wrong with going to the Jets, other than they have a reputation of being the Jets. What's up, Daniel? How's it going, buddy? How do you know? With Aaron Rodgers, all of a sudden, that's a whole different fucking arsenal. That's a whole different monster with guys like Garrett Wilson, probably another receiver that they got to sign, and like they have another receiver other than Garrett Wilson. I'm like blanking. Mims, like all of a sudden, all those other receivers they have that are like somewhat good become way the fuck better with Aaron Rodgers. You have to like kind of think of the whole package there. Elijah Moore, that's who it is. Yeah, Moore and fucking Wilson with Rodgers, okay. Along with fucking, like, all of a sudden, all of those receivers that didn't work so well with old dipshit McGillicuddy quarterbacks that they've been using for 2 years now, all of a sudden, those are all studs with Aaron Rodgers. He'd be following Favre. I don't think he wants to be in that. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, not following. You know what? I didn't even think about that one. That's a really good point. The Favre comparisons are already there. We'll see where Carr goes though. I'm not too sure about him right away. Yeah, I actually didn't think about the whole Favre situation. He literally might not go to the Jets because of the Brett Favre situation, because that's where Brett wound up going after Green Bay. Genuinely, for completely like that, like I don't know why I didn't remember that. It's like, man, he really is Brett's clone. Carr goes to the Commanders, Jimmy G to the Jets, and I think Aaron stays in Green Bay. Yeah, it's an ideal spot for like anybody to go to as a quarterback, in my opinion, right now. Plus, like, I'll be honest, if you're a Jets fan, you probably want Aaron Rodgers. You should want him because you can fix that quarterback you got. You don't think getting Aaron Rodgers to sit in front of that kid and fucking Zach Wilson glomming onto everything Aaron gives him as a sponge? The two are very close, by the way, if you didn't know that, Aaron and Zach Wilson. I don't even know how that happened, but they're like apparently very close. Yeah, it would be an idea situation for your very young, immensely talented quarterback. I have to keep reminding people about that with Wilson. He's got everything you probably want in a young QB. It's just he's fucking stupid about stuff. And I think a mentor like Aaron Rodgers can completely change him, bring out the best parts of him, he'll fix his throwing mechanics, learn how to throw like athletically like Aaron Rodgers can. Again, you can take a quarterback as arm talented as Zach Wilson, who is almost similar to Rodgers in the ability that he has to throw the football, move around, extend plays, run around out of the pocket. They're very similar quarterbacks if you really just stop and think about it. Rodgers is clearly just the smarter guy than Zach, but again, the physical skill is very similar in the two. Yeah, well, the Jets, I mean, if you're the Jets, do you really need 2 first-round picks right now? I mean, look at the Jets roster. I mean, what do you need in the first round? What do you need? For the next 2 years, what do you need? You're stacked at every position but quarterback. It's like, no, the Jets literally don't need a first round pick. It'd probably be better off for their checkbook if they didn't have a couple first round picks, so they're not guaranteeing like $40 million off the rip at every draft. Or what is it, like $30 million for a first rounder? Something like that for a fully guaranteed. And that's like right off the rip when they get drafted. You could just... But then I think rookie contracts become very cheap after the first year. It's weird. What's up, Luke? We haven't gotten to the awards yet. I was going to give that a little time for people to pop in and leave likes. And yeah, I get that, Nicholas. But those are picks you can make in the second round and in the third round. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think those are picks you can make in later rounds. I don't think you need to make them in the first. If that, because like, especially if the return is Aaron Rodgers and you win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years because of that. Do you think the Jets will ever give a flying motherfucker if they ever win anything again for 50 years? Just like, all right, we're good for the next 50 now. Peace out. We're gonna go back to sucking asshole. We're going to run on this for 50 years like we did the last one with Namath until people get real tired of hearing about Dandy Joe Namath or Broadway Joe. Yeah, I know, Luke. It's very depressing. How you doing, though, man? Hopefully good. Yeah, I do see. I think the Jets are also very good at free agency. Dolphins fans. One thing before we get into the awards. Or a couple more things I want to talk about. I've seen a post today by some Dolphins fans talking about how they're going to get Brady. And I was like, yeah, that's possible. It's not impossible. And then they were like, we're also going to get Jordan Poyer, Tremaine Edmonds, Saquon Barkley, and I seen another player, and I was like, oh, wow, that's a lot of good signings you can make in an offseason. I'm sure they have the money for it. And then I went and looked, and they're $13 million under the cap right now, or over the cap. Dog, you guys aren't getting nobody. You guys are gonna have to cut people to get people. I didn't know it was what? No, you guys are not. You're dramatically. You guys have to cut. You have to get down on that cap right now. Russell Wilson trade, but not as no. Russell Wilson, I think, was the victim of Nathaniel Hackett, who is the new Jets offensive coordinator, by the way. That should strengthen the Rodgers rumors. Yeah, that list is foolish, by the way. It's like, I can show you the post if you guys want to see it. I'm not just like straw manning a Dolphins fan. And it's like the level of confidence is astounding in this post. I put it in my Discord because I made fun of it earlier. Oh, it was Jalen Ramsey was the other one. That's the funniest one. That's what it was. I seen posts on here by Dolphins fans saying shit like, cap doesn't matter, we can get them all. All right. Let's go over this list here of free agents, right? Number one, Jalen Ramsey, I believe, has a no trade clause, right? So he'd have to want to go to Miami. If Jalen Ramsey does get traded away from the fucking Rams, which is possible, I think he might want to actually get traded. The problem with Ramsey, I think if he goes to any Florida team, do you know what team he probably wants to go for? Go check out his Twitter and see how much he was talking about that fucking Jaguars game. No, I think the Rams might be moving on from Ramsey to build up some first-round picks, and I think one of the things the Jaguars desperately need is a corner. And I think that's one of the top picks that they're expected to use is for a corner. So I can imagine a thing where they swap Ramsey back over to Jacksonville. And because, again, go look at this dude was like praising fucking Jacksonville. Like he was like, oh, it almost sounded like he was jealous of the Like if you go check his Twitter, when the Jaguars were in those playoff games, this dude seemed like he was an injured Jaguars player that wasn't allowed to travel or something. It was fucking, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. He probably wants to go back. Okay. Yeah, I mean, dude, now they're good against, and I think that's gonna happen. I'm not sure why I think that. Like, I have a really strong sensation. I'm like, he's gonna wind up back in Jacksonville for some reason. I think he wants to go there. I think he likes the team now. He's like, damn, that actually, I shouldn't have got traded so early. But not, and also he's got a ring now too, so he's probably a lot more calmed down about shit. No, okay, number 2, Jordan Poyer. Do we really think the Bills aren't going to re-sign Jordan Poyer? Really? Like one of the best safeties in football, the Bills are just going to be like, see you later, buddy. You did a lot for us here. Don't go sign with the Patriots, please. Please don't go sign with the Patriots. Really? You're just going to let that very real possibility happen? If he leaves, he's probably going to wind up in New England. I hate to like be the bearer of bad news on that one, but boy oh boy, does he not fit the fucking Belichick system to a T at safety. Him and Kyle Duggar in the safety positions together. Oh yeah, that's good. Devin McCourty just retired. Patriots are probably going to be after a safety like Poyer. You don't want him anywhere near free agency with Bill Belichick and his reputation with good safeties, turning them from good safeties to Hall of Famers. So you probably don't want that to happen if you're Buffalo. You really don't want that to happen. So I would imagine they resign him. Edmonds is a possibility. You guys could get Edmonds. He might sign for free because, no one's going to give him any money anyway. And, I mean, if you really want to risk Saquon Barkley, I wouldn't, but I think he's sticking in the Jets. Steelers Nathan, Ramsey's still a top corner in football. I would love Edmonds. No, I don't want to say. I mean, Edmonds is good as like a run stopper. He's good in like the pass rush run. I was gonna say you guys have like good safeties. Edmonds would be good depth safety for you guys actually. Josh Allen MVP. You guys want to go over awards? Do some awards? Huh? Is it time? All right, let's go over. We're gonna start from the bottom up, and let's go bottom and work our way up to the better awards. Because it's like the first award. If we started at the top, we'd work from MVP down to assistant coach of the year, and I'm like, that feels like quite the fall off. You should work reverse on this, and then we'll get to it. Let me just check one quick thing. Make sure I did something. All right, we're off to a good start. We got 9 likes. If you haven't left a like, consider dropping one. We'll be at double digits. No. We didn't have a good season. We probably weren't going to get any award credit. Oh, we're down to 6 people. I don't know if we should start yet. There's no one here anymore. There's really no point in redoing and starting at this point. We'll just go back to talking about football stuff, then we'll go to the awards. I don't want to start with like fucking 5 or 6 people here. It's just like, why? So when more people pop in, we have to restart. It's like, nah, that's all right. So give it like 10 more minutes, see if anyone else pops in. Because right now it feels like it's because as soon as we get started, a bunch of people are going to filter in, and it's going to be like, can we go back to which one did we miss? No, you're good. You didn't ruin anything, J-Cam. I just don't want to start with like 5 or 6 people here because it's like, I mean, we need a few more. Do you think there's any chance Aaron Rodgers could reunite with Devontae Adams and the Raiders? I mean, it's possible that he goes to the Raiders, but it seems like the Raiders really want old Brady. Yeah, Geno Smith is he's eligible 100%. I don't know if Miko won an award, but I think he should. He was amazing this year, but he was. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he's really eligible. It's maybe defensive player of the year, but it seems highly unlikely. We could probably get started in like a minute here. Might as well. Let me just. I already put that in there. Cool. Yeah, J-Cam, I don't disagree. Raiders feel like they're a secondary away from being good. I don't like their defense very much. I don't know if Miko won. I already read that. Oh, really? Oh, boy. Yeah. All right, we'll get started. Fuck it. All right. So, AP Assistant Coach of the Year. This is basically for the best. I don't know. The title's pretty fucking explanatory. Your three finalists, your three candidates for the award are going to be Ben Johnson, the Lions offensive coordinator. One of the reasons he's probably nominated, one of the reasons they're looking at him and they think he's, he was one of the hotter names for like a head coaching job is because of the work he did with the Lions offense. Fixed Jared Goff, had his offense scoring like 30 a game almost. He led like the third or fifth highest, top 5 rated offense. It's pretty good. And then you got DeMeco Ryans, of course, who has the number 1 defense in the NFL right now as the 49ers defensive coordinator. Probably the hottest coaching candidate. Completely cracked, completely fucking wired guy. He's an absolute jacknut dude. He's fun. I don't know if you guys have ever watched this dude or remember when he played for the Texans. This guy's a fucking loose cannon when he's out there. It's fun to watch. Fun guy. He's gonna be a fun coach to watch. I think the deck that's stacked against him here is he inherited an unreal defense. It's not like he created Dre Greenlaw or Warner or Bosa or, you know what I mean? Like, these are all just kind of filter overs from that Salah defense. But again, his secondary is fucking solid. And then, of course, you have your third guy, Shane Steichen, who probably, he's not going to win. So I'm not going to spend a lot of. Honestly, this should probably be Mike Kafka from the Giants, who's, I believe, the assistant coach there. Kafka's not getting enough love for the work he's done as the OC/QB coach for Daniel Jones. My guess is it's between Ben and DeMeco, and DeMeco's going to get it just because DeMeco's the hotter name. Eric Bieniemy, if he was eligible, but my pick would have been Ben Johnson due to the sheer improvement of a top 5 offense with a falling off. Yeah, he fixed Goff. Ryans probably should get it. But again, I could see where they might give it to Ben Johnson simply because he's pretty much fixed Jared Goff, a task most teams thought impossible. They had a really high-rated offense, but again, he's got a lot of weapons. But again, he also developed a lot of those weapons. It's not like 6th-round Amon-Ra St. Brown was supposed to be a monster. It's not like, you know what I mean? It's not like the Lions offense is loaded with all these like super talented players that were supposed to be world beaters, except for Jameson Williams. It's like, so you kind of have to take that into consideration. DeMeco's done a very good job, like continuing with what Salah's done. So, and his team was a little bit better this year. So it's going to be, it's probably going to be why he gets it. They're going to just be like, well, who had the better record? And I'm like, oh, fucking poor Lions. So that's kind of, we all kind of think, you think the Lions coach gets it? Yeah, it's between those two. Shane Steichen, I don't even know why they included him. They've already put this down to the final 3, didn't they, for the AP Coach of the Year? Here are the 3 candidates, the 5 candidates. It's down to 3. What's up, Trey? Trey probably remembers DeMeco Ryan too. Very fiery leader of the Texans defense for a while there. You have Brian Daboll of the Giants, who's probably going to win it. Then you have McDermott of the Bills, who I really don't think should. Literally, the reason he's on here is because he handled the Damar Hamlin situation very well. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but it's like, why the fuck was McDermott nominated over Dan Campbell? The dude did like the same as he did last year. It's like, dude, come on. Yeah, the same team barely did any better. Everyone else, yeah, I will say everyone else on here is very much belongs, but like Sean McDermott, I feel like was put on this list so they didn't have to nominate Dan Campbell yet. Because, it's like, why isn't Dan Campbell on here? He's literally snubbed. But maybe they didn't want to maybe they're waiting for Dan Campbell to give it to him next year's because, Dable's winning it anyway. So, anyway, then Doug Peterson, I believe he's one of the finalists. I think the finalists are Brian Dable, Doug Peterson, and Kyle Shanahan are the three finalists. Because they've narrowed it down to three people, right? It's literally, I think it's Dable, Peterson, and Shanahan. You like McDermott? Doug Peterson, a bit of an underdog pick for me. Yeah, Peterson could very well easily win Coach of the Year. Dable too. The thing and Shanahan doesn't get enough credit. It's a lot like the Bill Belichick. You know how Belichick's only won 3 Coach of the Years? It's like he seems like he should have won at least like 10 of them cocksuckers, right? Shanahan is a victim of his own success, in which his teams are always so good and so consistently well coached. It's like, well, what fucking year did we give him the award? It's just like, I don't know. How about this year? He won 10 games straight with a rookie quarterback and lost both of his quarterbacks. Like, at some point, when do we recognize the great coaching of Kyle Shanahan? Because, like, name another coach that could have pulled off what he did this year. I mean, at some point, I understand what Dable did is great and he's going to win the award. Shanahan, to me, I'm like, dog, when's he going to get one? I mean, it's like at some point, we have to point out that this dude is winning fucking games with the last pick of the draft. He's in the NFC Championship game again with a quarterback no one else would win with. It's like, dog, what else does Kyle got to do to win this award? But again, he's such a good, consistent coach. There's no like, oh, look out, whoa, where did Kyle Shanahan come from? Like with Dable, he had that shock year of like Giants went from terrible to great. Whereas with Shanahan, it's always been like, they've always been pretty good, except for when they didn't have a quarterback. And then he was winning games with Nick Mullins. He was he's a great coach. You've never been able to like see any of it. It's always just been Shanahan's a great coach. There's no like, this is the year he became an elite coach. It's almost like he has to win the Super Bowl, and then they'll give him the Coach of the Year the following year and be like, all right, sorry about that, Kyle. Yeah, Dan Campbell will probably win it next year. Eagles coaches out. Dabo should win. Yeah, I think it's down to Shanahan. I wish Shanahan could win it. I genuinely do, but I think he suffers from the team. Again, what Dable done for the Giants and what Peterson has done for the Jaguars puts those two so far ahead of what everybody else did. And to me, that's what a great coaching is. Like, that exemplifies great coaching. Shanahan, yeah, sure, but like, it's not like he turned around a garbage football. You know what I mean? He turned around a team that was almost in the NFC Championship game last year and got him in the NFC Championship game again. You know what I mean? It's been like, I feel like every goddamn year since they've gotten Jimmy G, they've been like a top of the NFC team. So it's like, what do we do? Yeah. And we only got to wait, 2-3 more years before Bill Belichick retires and Brian Dable's the coach of the Patriots. It's already written in stone. So. But again, I think the biggest snub of the award cycle was probably Dan Campbell not even being nominated. It's like, really? The guy who, like, fixed Detroit? You know what'll be funny is if Brad Holmes of the Lions wins Executive of the Year, but it'll probably go to Howie Roseman. For some reason, they don't have that on there, the Executives of the Year. But I'm guessing the finalists for that are Brad Holmes, Howie Roseman for the Eagles, who's going to win that award, and probably the Seahawks GM? Or Trent Baalke for the Jaguars? Or possibly Shonen for the Giants? John Schneider. Who's the GM for? Campbell is a great pick. 30 plus. Okay, yeah. Well, that's I think where Ben Johnson's going to get the Seahawks. Yeah, he's probably going to get some looks. My guess though is it's going to be Howie Roseman who clean sweeps that award. Dog, dude, he literally got AJ Brown for like nothing. Do you remember that trade? One of the craziest trades I think I've ever personally seen in my entire life. Literally, just that trade alone, he wins GM of the year. Like, you can't beat. You're never gonna beat that shit. All right, next big award, AP Comeback Player of the Year. Yeah, Tennessee's dude lost his fucking job. He's probably done in the NFL. That GM who got fired from Tennessee over that. Like, that's what happens to GMs. Like, oh, you're fired now. That guy's done a great job as the GM of the Titans, too. Literally, everything he'd done had been perfect. He made that one trade, and they fired him immediately. My pick for Comeback Player of the Year, I have Geno Smith. I don't know. Nope, he's probably the right pick, but he was thrown into a dumpster fire, made the playoffs. Saquon is really close in votes, but Geno got. That's pretty much my thoughts, too. You have Saquon Barkley for the Giants, who bounced. He played in 13 games last year and was bad. Like, we'll be honest, he was bad last year. Kind of like. And then he got hurt, and like it was just an ugly season, so that's why he's eligible. Christian McCaffrey, obviously, he shouldn't be eligible because he's always hurt. That feels cheap. It's just like, and Christian McCaffrey was hurt last year. Oh my goodness, I didn't even know. I forgot he was in the NFL till he got. It's just like, oh wow. Whoa, I think it's more surprising he's not hurt this year. Not to make jokes about anybody's health, but I mean, it's crazy he's not hurt right now. But so I could see him, but like as everybody's pointing out, like it's like fucking Geno Smith out of nowhere this year. Dude turned into Rich Gannon. Like, if you don't know who Rich Gannon is, this is who Geno Smith turned into. It's literally the same thing. I think they were both like first round picks with like they had big expectations, fell flat on their face until their like middle 30s, and then all of a sudden just became accurate fucking demigods of like accurate passing football, and literally just were leading teams to. I think Rich Gannon was the guy who like led the Raiders to a Super Bowl appearance against the Bucks in 2001. It's like I'm like 80% positive about that. Like that was who their quarterback was at that point. Yeah, he was literally the Raiders quarterback when they were like at their greatest in the 2000s. And it was very similar to Geno Smith's situation. It's a very a lot of mirrors there. Saquon has been too inconsistent. Geno deserves it. Well, I mean, Geno, to be fair, Saquon's the entire Giants offense. I mean, I know Daniel Jones has been good this year and he's been a little bit more helpful, but like, if there's no Saquon Barkley, that Giants team probably wins like 5 games this year. It's, you know, let's be real honest about that situation. It's debatable that fucking Saquon deserves MVP votes, but they don't give MVP to running backs. So that one feels like a cheap award. I think some of these next couple awards are the ones that, oh yeah, here we go. All right, here are the awards that are going to have some fun to them. One of these nominations is completely shocking, and I feel terribly for Chris Olave. It's like, wow, why did he get fucked like that? Jesus. All right, let's do the Defensive Rookie of the Year. That probably should be super uncontentious. Defensive Rookie of the Year. We have Sauce Gardner, the lockdown corner of the New York Jets, who's going to be a future star in the league. Unless, you know, he just kind of breaks down and can't play anymore. But he is really good. People stop throwing to his side late in the season, which is pretty much indicative that he's a lockdown guy. So he locks down his field. Then you have Hutchinson with his 3 interceptions, I think 3 forced fumbles, and 9.5 sacks. I think that is something that has never been done in the NFL, not just by a rookie, but by any singular player. Like all in one season, I don't think we've ever seen 3 picks. I think that's a record for a defensive lineman, by the way. It's like he broke all kinds of weird things and did things only done like once in league history. So that is why I would say that there's a good chance that this award might not be a clean sweep by Gardner. And then Tariq Woolen, any other year he'd be Rookie of the Year. But with Gardner, he really was that good. My picks, I want either a Eagles versus Bengals Super Bowl or a Niners versus... Okay. To be fair, Sauce didn't have picks because they stopped throwing at him. It's like, yeah, you can't really hold low amounts of picks against a lockdown corner as a thing. Like, imagine they only throw for example, like Darrelle Revis would only get like 13 targets in a year and he'd get like 2 picks. Is he a bad corner? No. That means he shut down that whole side of that field for that game. Literally, you got to understand, not getting picks. I think his targets went like this, like Gardner's. I think it's literally like this. Do you know the Lions threw the ball at his side of the field this many times? The Patriots, the second time they played him? Once. It's like, guys, people don't throw at that kid. They just don't do that. It's a bad idea to throw at Sauce. Just like it's a bad idea if you don't triple to double. Like, teams already scheme their entire blocking schemes around Hutchinson. He's already that big of a problem for teams. I don't know what's going to matter more. Chiefs home field advantage. Well, I mean, it's not really a Chiefs home field advantage. I've heard that they are changing the name, Jags. Sauce is like a human tracker. Sauce scanning the field, making ends from across the field. Sauce is a beast. I hope Hutchinson wins because I like the Lions, but unfortunately, I have to go with Sauce on this one. But again, man, some of the shit that Hutchinson did there you'll never see shit like that from a defensive lineman. Again, probably. It's insane what he was pulling off. He's probably going to get a shitload of sacks next season, though. He'll probably start quickly contending for Depoy. Hutchinson. I almost don't want him to win it, so it puts a hutch on his like a chip on his shoulder. Gotta watch the first preseason game for the Patriots because I want to see if Bill has changed much on his look. Oh, the Patriots aren't going to look anywhere near the same as next year. Oh, Bill O'Brien? Yeah, he just looks older and kind of fatter. That's all. And balder. He's basically Bill O'Brien, just like older. So excited to have Bill O'Brien back. And I found something out, by the way, just a little pause in the action. You guys know how everyone's like, oh, well, that kills the Patriots getting D-Hop. Remember when they kept interviewing and asking DeAndre Hopkins and everybody was like, DeAndre's probably so happy they fired Bill O'Brien? No, actually. Remember, they interviewed Hopkins and he's like, there's no ill will between me and Bill. I don't wish bad on no one. I hope he finds success wherever he gets his next job. It's like, guys, you do understand that, like, I understand that he traded him, right, to Arizona, and that was kind of shitty. That was about the worst thing he did was, trade him to a bad team. But other than that, what did he do that was that bad? Honored his trade request? Made him a lot of money? Turned him into one of the top 5 receivers in full. I mean, is it really any that big of do you really think they have that bad of a relationship still? It's probably very neutral. They probably don't care. Again, they bumped heads and he asked for a trade and he got traded. It's like fucking what's there to be that mad about if you're DeAndre or Bill O'Brien? Hopefully that dipshit's humbled. Anyway, let's jump into Rookie of the Year for offense. Fat Matt, probably just going to be, I don't know, who knows? He's probably just going to be some kind of an advisor or something. Chilling. Purdy? Nah. I don't even know why Purdy's on here. It's Brock Purdy for some reason. I don't even know why he's eligible to win this award. He played in 5 games or whatever. If he's eligible, why isn't Breece Hall eligible? It's just like they played the same 7 games. I think Breece might have played more games than him. I'm not really sure why Purdy's on there. He's just on there because they always got to throw a quarterback on there. I'm pretty sure that's all that is. Kenneth Walker III had an unreal season. It was 99% of the reason why the Seahawks were winning games late in the season and was a big component. And then, of course, you have Garrett Wilson, who somehow had a 1,000-yard receiver. I don't even know how the fuck he got 1,000. You know that, right? I think Garrett Wilson got 1,000 yards. It's really hard to pick against a guy who somehow got 1,000 yards receiving with Mike White, Joe Flacco, and Zach Wilson as the quarterbacks. That's very impressive by young Garrett Wilson. He's going to be a monster receiver in this league for years to come. Rookie ints from Kenny Pickett, and he could have been. I mean, he could have been a contender. Walker got 1,000. Yeah, see, it's one of them things. It's like, I really hate the fact that I'm going to say this, but I'm pretty sure Garrett Wilson's also going to win fucking Rookie of the Year. But then again, Kenneth Walker, like, is Garrett Wilson really Rookie of the Year when last year's Rookie of the Year receiver had like nearly 2,000 yards and had like 19 touchdown receptions? I'm guessing Kenneth Walker wins this. We haven't had a good rookie running back in a while. Walker was like a big part of carrying that offense. And again, like thinking about the last receiver who won the award, it's like is he anywhere near what Jamar Chase was pulling off? Would he have done better with the better? It's like there's so many questions on that. So it's like it's either Walker or Wilson. Watch him give it to Brock Purdy, though, for no fucking reason. I'd be like, all right, Mac played way better than that fucking guy. That's bullshit. They completely have fucked my team. By the way, if this asshole Purdy wins that award, you will then understand why I said the Patriots players aren't allowed to win awards. Like I went on a whole tirade about this, and I was like, "You're crazy. You guys win all the awards all the time." Wait till we get to Defensive Player of the Year, and the second leader in sacks in the NFL this year isn't even nominated. That's crazy. Yeah, those stats will get better for Pickens. Yeah. Garrett Wilson's just a monster. No shame in admitting that, but for some reason they're going to wind up giving this shitty-ass thing to fucking Purdy. I'm going to be mad as hell if they give a quarterback this award. It's like no quarterback this year deserves Rookie of the Year. Almost wish Mac was playing as a rookie this year. If Mac had his rookie year he had last year, this year he'd have won Rookie of the Year running away. Wouldn't even be a contest. All right, Offensive Player of the Year. The real MVP award, some say. Or at least, about as close as an Offensive Player of the Year. Justin Jefferson, easy choice in my book. So important to the Vikings, man. 1950 receiving yards, insane. Not much else to say. All right, let's go over the choices. You have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Hurts, a fraud quarterback. Jefferson, sadly, a fraud quarterback or receiver. Mahomes, another fraud receiver or quarterback. I think personally this is going to be a shock award. All of these guys have too many other things going for them. Tyreek Hill, for example, has another good receiver to play alongside. I would eliminate him. Jalen Hurts has too many good receivers to win this award, so he's out, plus Miles Sanders. Justin Jefferson, he's going to be pretty tough. I can't really take him out. He's in the running. And Mahomes is obviously a fraud, so I don't really care. The real Offensive Player of the Year, in my opinion, unbiased, completely unbiased, is Michael McCorkle-Jones. Mainly because he had the unfortunate problem of being thrust into an offense coached by the likes of Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. And when you have to deal with people who have no idea what they're doing, pretty hard. So I think Max should get the award. My nose is really itchy. Damn, where'd everybody go? No one's here anymore. No, I'm going to say it's Justin Jefferson wins the award. Pretty hard not to when you almost break every fucking receiving record. I don't know. I don't really see where he's not going to win it. So damn, you know what's crazy is some of the former regulars on this channel don't even watch anymore. Probably gonna have to delete all their mods and just be like, hey, you guys just don't watch it enough anymore. It's like barely anyone ever showing up now, and you guys are cool, but it's just like some of these people who have mods, it's like, why do you guys have mods again? I mean, you are, Nathan, but you're the only person I think that's had a mod that's been here all stream. Yeah, it's gonna wind up going to Jefferson this year. My guess is it comes down to Hill or Jefferson in terms of like the voting, and it's gonna wind up being Jefferson, unless they fuck everybody over and just give it to Mahomes. But I don't think they do that with Offensive Player of the Year. Not typically, anyway. Dude, please don't post shit like that in my Discord. Thanks. It's not where anything like that goes. Weird. Yeah, Mike doesn't really come to streams anymore. I'm not really sure what's up with that. I don't really see him enough. Not enough, not enough. Anyway. Mahomes. No, I don't think they're going to give it to Mahomes. I think they tend to avoid quarterbacks getting Offensive Player of the Year. Simply because it's like, man, they're the only ones that can like win MVP anymore. So, you know, it's like why just keep awarding them, and kind of shun everybody else in the process. So, I don't know. All right, let's go to the next one, I guess. Defensive Player of the Year. My views are terrible lately, especially on the streams. It's awful. You got Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bosa, Chris Jones, who I have no idea why he's nominated, and then Micah Parsons. So I think this comes down to Parsons or Nick Bosa. I really not really sure why that's not like Dexter Lawrence or yeah, I'm pretty sure that should be Dexter Lawrence. I'm not really certain as to why they nominated Chris Jones over him. But I'm guessing it's going to be Bosa. Yeah, I could see the argument for Parsons. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's one of them situations where when it's very, to me, obvious, and Christian Walker also should be on there, considered anyway. With these two, it's a good hire. I mean, we'll see if it works. Go back to the beginning of the stream to find more drawn out comments. Yeah, like Bosa's like right. So the way I look at this is like the 49ers have the best defense in football by quite a bit, I would say. It's pretty substantial. And then we go ahead and look at something like then we go ahead and say, well, do they have any like standout defensive players? You go, all right, you have Fred Warner, you have Dre Greenlaw, and then probably Nick Bosa. And then you go, all right, which one of those three is the best? And I would have to say it's probably Bosa. And it's like, yeah. It's going to be really close. I think it's just one of them things where but see, that could also work against Bosa in a similar sense of like, well, Bosa was surrounded by unfucking natural talent all over him, whereas like, yeah, Parsons has good players all around him, but not quite to the level that Bosa has around him, you know? Like, there could be that working against him. So, that's also in play, I would say. You got Nick Bosa, Gio? Yeah, it seems like it. That you see, it seems like that's going to be against him is the supporting cast, but I don't typically think that works against depoy voting. It could though. But then again, you got to remember, Bosa does stand out on that defense as the best player of that defense. But again, you also got to remember the NFL kind of really over prioritizes Bosa's position. And you got to remember, the league has an extreme bias, the voters do, about defensive ends. I don't know what it is, but like Bosa's position is fucking, they love giving defensive player of the year to defensive ends. They're just like, yup, it's your award, here you go. And it's just, all right. Which is also part of the reason why if I'm Sauce Gardner, I'm a little nervous about that fucking vote. The league has like a weird history of just not giving defensive backs awards. It was shocking when Gilmore won Defensive Player of the Year. It's like, really? A fucking corner just won Depoy? That's how good of a year Gilmore had that year to win Defensive Player of the Year. He literally he basically had to fucking heist the award away. For some reason, it seems like the standard for like a corner winning Depoy is like, well, you got to have at least as good a year as Deion Sanders' worst year. And it's like, oh, fuck me, right? All right. Here's the funnest award of the best award, the funnest award to think about. You got these 5 options. Oh, Judon, he got fucked. Yeah, Judon got fucking snubbed majorly. They didn't put him on there. He wasn't even in the final 5 for whatever reason. Oh, you have Jefferson with 2 in a row? Nah. Justin Jefferson won't win an MVP. But it's cute that they put him on the list. Anyway, it's Josh Allen, quarterback. Joe Burrow, self-explanatory. Jalen Hurts, nominated as a quarterback, not a running back. And then, of course, we have Mr. Mahomes, who had like, 5,600 passing yards and like 45 touchdowns. Guy, do you guys know what fucking Mahomes' numbers look like compared to like everybody else's numbers? I may not like Mahomes, but like, I think he has like 1,000 more passing yards than the next closest guy. It's like some ridiculously like better stats. Maybe if Tua didn't get hurt, he maybe would have challenged it. But it's like, I don't know, guys. I mean, let's look at Mahomes' raw stats here. I think it's important. 5,200 yards, 41 touchdowns, and 12 picks. I can imagine that's probably the MVP. What's up, Rob? Yeah, Tua got hurt and lost it all. Yeah, 41 TDs, 5,200 yards. That's seeming like the MVP. Also, fun fact, typically you can kind of find out who's going to win the MVP if it's going to be a quarterback or whatever by checking out the All-Pro, the AP, which is who gives out these awards, which is why it's called the AP Most Valuable Player. when you think about all these things, yeah, only 12 picks on nearly 700 throws. It's fun. It's yeah, his numbers are insane this year. Fuck, I lost it. God damn it. I lost it. Oh, okay, I got it now. I remembered it now. All pro, right? Yeah, it was the all pro. Most of the time, if a quarterback gets over like 40 of the all pro votes, and Mahomes got 49 out of 50 all of first team all pro votes, they typically win the MVP because those are the same people that vote for the awards, that do the all pro voting. You can kind of get an idea for who's going to get what awards based on that. So Mahomes is probably winning the MVP, and he might be unanimous. Yeah, Burrow wasn't fucking banged up to begin the year and didn't miss the start of the, like, if he didn't have a slow start to the year because he missed the preseason, he probably wins MVP. Hurts is a guy for sure. Well, I have my own personal vote for MVP. Not many people think that, he should be winning it, but I put big money on a surprise winner. Yeah, I would say Hurts deserves it more than Joe this year. So all these people are pretty good, but none of them even hold the bucket of the phony GOAT, Aaron Rodgers. I vote Aaron Rodgers for three-time MVP for doing far worse than he did the last 2 years. He did he did really good his MVP year, worse the next year, and now this year he did even worse. So I'm confused as to why he's not the runaway MVP. Clearly it's a globalist agenda against him. Clearly it's because of the vaccine stuff that they're not giving him the MVP this year. Because, I mean, please explain to me a quarterback who did more with less this year than Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he's perfect. Yeah, he should be the MVP based on the fact that they gave it to him when he did worse than he did the year he won it the first time. Yeah, if you go look it up, his numbers in his back-to-back MVP years, he's probably the only back-to-back MVP candidate that had a very strong 1 year, a worse second year. What? Made no improvements to the team. They won the same amount of games in a bullshit ass. Like, I have no idea how he won that back-to-back MVP. I'll never get it. For Peyton to win his back-to-back MVPs, he went from like 4,000 yards to 5,000, from like 28 touchdowns to like 51 or some crazy fucking bullshit when he won his back-to-backs. His numbers went better. The team finished better in the standings. They didn't lose one more game than they did the year before, have worse numbers, and then they just go, here you go, Aaron. It's like, I can understand if he would have won last year and MVP on a standalone year, but it's like, you have to know that that's back to back. What on earth last year determined that he should have won back? He threw less picks. Yeah, and he threw less touchdowns and had way less yards. Why doesn't he get it this year? Based on that, he had way less yards and way less touchdowns and less wins and more losses, just like he did the year when he won back to back. Why doesn't he win it again? We're just giving it away to, I mean, so that way Brady didn't get another MVP. That's why they gave it to Aaron Rodgers last year. Whatever. That's why they didn't give it to Sad times. Should be some good awards. I don't think there's really going to be anything shocking. Sadly. I kind of wish we didn't know all the finalists. It's one of them things where it's like, it'd be a lot more fun if we had no idea who was potentially going to win or not. It was just kind of like you never know. You might want to tune in. You don't know who's going to win. But then again, you might not, want to tune in. For sure. But yeah, I don't know. What else you guys want to talk about? I might get out of here early tonight if there's not much to chit chat about. What's up, Jason? Just check the All Pro votes. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. It's kind of like a cheap way to look around the to see who's gonna win the awards. Like Bose is winning D+, but that's kind of boring. I still think the biggest snub's probably Dan Campbell of the awards cycle. Probably Chris Olave for Rookie of the Year too. It's like, why wasn't he nominated for Rookie of the Year? That seems a little weird. What did Olave do to not get the nod that he's clearly worked rather hard to get? I think YouTube's back to suppressing my channel again because boy oh boy, I didn't even hit 100 views on the last stream, and this one's sitting at a very cool 50 views. Like, well, what happened to my channel? Where'd all the views go? Getting almost 200 a stream like a week ago. Yeah. Tis the way it goes. Tis the way it goes. I'm going to be like Fernando and scream about it and cry about it like he was yesterday in Discord for like 2 hours, trying to make everyone feel bad for him. No one watched it. No, I was like, yeah, dude, it's just how it is. The fucking content creation's a bitch. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Views will pick back up. I've learned not to actually fret about that. Streaming numbers are so goddamn fickle for me. If you're not like, what's the word? If you're probably not in the 5 digits, you can't really like expect any kind of consistency with this shit. You know what I mean? It's kind of all just some things do really good, some things don't do so good. Nah. Just fans make it seem like Hutch and Sauce are rivals and hate each other. Yeah, I don't think they would have any hatred. Maybe back to high school football. Why would they hate each other? More than likely, if the Jets don't get their shit together and old buddy wants to leave the Jets, he's probably going to Detroit. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, at worst, those two maybe were high school rivals. Like, it's like, I don't know, guys. I don't think it's that deep. I don't know why they wouldn't like each other. They don't even play the same positions. We can't always have the same audience every night. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, plus it's 11:30. I'm just fucking around. I don't know. Sometimes my streams just don't get a lot of people. Sometimes there's a lot of people. As long as there's a decent amount of people. If I was concerned about my viewership, I would do things entirely different. I wouldn't swear. I'd probably clean my content up quite a bit and probably try to learn how to edit. I'd do cringe ass like stupid shit. I don't know. I'd try way harder than I do. You guys gotta understand. I put in almost no. It's bad. I wish I had the ability to put an effort on this channel because then it'd probably do a whole hell of a lot better. Like if I spent time searching up like all that YouTube shit that you got to look up to succeed. It'd be a little easier, but man, we're almost to 10,000 this way, so let's just keep it going this way. It's like, I don't know, we have a pretty consistent 7 to like 15 people that watch the streams. I think that's pretty solid. Like, I don't know, I think that's pretty good. Channels my size, that's not bad. Plus, you guys are cool. You guys chat. You guys hang out. You guys always got cool shit to talk about. So, makes it a little bit more fun. So, I view it. I don't know. Again, I've often wondered if I would even like having too much more people in here than like maybe 20 to 50. Like, I feel like 50 would be the best number to get to, because then it's like, all right, there we go. Because then it's like constantly moving, but then it's like it's not too much where I can't like talk to people anymore. Where it's like, well, this kind of sucks. I'd like to have a conversation, but it's like I'm having. Walmart's at 20 an hour. Sheesh, it's a pretty good pay. Seems like a silly amount of money. But I don't know, it's getting expensive out there, so I guess that's not too crazy. Yeah, and it's also like it's just like a weird. I started the stream kind of late, so like a lot of people probably had to go to bed. They got shit to do. Yeah, editing isn't hard. I just don't want to do it. I don't like editing like at all. That's why I film everything in one take. I don't fuck around. I don't like any of that. So I think Burrow will get the MVP, but I think this is a great year for Allen to get it. I think it's gonna go to Mahomes, man. It's gonna be kind of really hard, J Cam, to overrun him for it. Yeah, why? I mean, what's wrong with that? What am I supposed to like? I got the Jaguars over the other guys. You know, like a little fucking faggot or freaking ass thing pops up and like, and it's just like, whoa, that's fucking cool, dude. No, I'm fucking. All right, we got a PowerPoint. And like the like little flames come out the side. Like, oof, oof. It's just like the score, and it's like, no, I wouldn't want to do all that. Things are like spinning around. Boom, boom, boom. For some reason, there's like midgets firing guns at each other. Like, well, what do any of these edits have to do with the games? Yeah, no, I don't want to do all that. I see there's a problem with like over editing, right? Where like you can edit something and it looks good. And then of course you might run into a situation where you over edit something, right? And it looks like complete fucking garbage. And I would have far too much fun. There'd be effects for everything on that thing. Yeah, Alan like started off as like it's his award to lose and was going to win it, then he lost it, then he like put himself back into it, and then like the end of the season it was like I don't think he should be MVP. I think Mahomes just played a little too well. One sec. That was about Damn, there's just nobody here. All right, I'm probably gonna start to wrap this up pretty soon, though. I mean, it's pretty much a ghost town here. I don't think I'm gonna stream tomorrow either. There's like no one showing up to the streams. it's fucking no, I'm just kidding. Probably go live tomorrow or something. Unless there's something else anyone really wants to talk about, like super hard, but there's like no one left, so. No point in keeping going on when there's other things I could do tonight. I don't know what happened these last two streams, but there's just nobody at them. See you later, Fernando. I appreciate all the likes and everything. It's just I don't know what happened. Went from 215 to 95 to 50 in the views. I don't genuinely know what happened here with these last two streams. Just didn't do good. PFA, yeah, the Pro Football Writers of America went to Mahomes. Mahomes got 49 out of 50 first team All Pro votes. It's 100%. It's going to be Mahomes. You know, just based on the way that the writers tend to move. There's no like goals on non-reaction streams. But it's all right. Fun stream to everyone who came by. Appreciate you. To everyone else who's listening afterward, fuck you. No. No one's ever going to listen this far to a VOD. And if they do, then they can comment that I told them to go fuck themselves. Make sure you tune in live next time, dickbag. Just kidding. Or else, if you don't, you know, take a good look at a good picture at like. All right, I messed the thread up. All right, I was gonna end on a funny threat, but I messed it all up. So now we don't get to have that. You're excited for free agency? Why is that? Think your team's gonna make the big sign? So, what are you excited for? It's kind of like just a vague excited. Oh, there's no one in specific you want to like have signed up, or there's not like a position group you want to improve on, or. Okay. You want a new backup quarterback? I'm sure that's pretty high on your team's priority. I'm sure that'll be your first pick in the draft. There's drafting a good backup quarterback in the first round. All right, what do you want next? All right, so round one, you want a quarterback. That's number one need. What's your number two need? Normally, I'd put backup quarterback as like the last thing I give a fuck about, but all right. All right, we need a good backup like Henson Hooker in the first round. We'll use that on him, and we'll build out from there. What? Oh, you have like a top 15 pick. I hope you're not genuinely hoping you draft fucking a replacement for Mitch Trubisky for some reason. Anyway, all right, there's no one left in the stream, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Have a good night. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you when I see you next.